I can trifle in how. Zulu, how do you plead to street racing, reckless evading, resisting?
Guilty.
All right. I'm gonna bill you here $4,438.
Okay.
There you are. And what I'm going to do is you're free to go based upon time served plus the guilty plea time. So we're just gonna.
Thank you.
We need to get your possessions reclaimed at the front. Let's go ahead and head over in that direction. Hey. This is y'all. I'm sorry. Listen. I jumped to conclusions. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have, but
it could have been Doug. You know
listen, it was in the back of everybody's mind. Zulu, I'm gonna let you out the back here. Do me a favor. Head over to the front, and we'll get your possessions reclaimed.
Okay.
Here we are. I just don't want to have to run through the entirety of the PD and unlock a gazillion doors.
For the sake.
Man, I would have put $1 million on it.
Yeah, I would have too. It was like
$1 million
split
fucking.
image.
That's what I was saying. Let me make sure he gets his
Looks
stuff
so
back.
deceiving.
Do you have your stuff?
Yes, thank you.
All right, you stay safe. Stop street racing.
Thank you, my
Okay.
And don't steal anybody's underwear.
Oh my god. I must go in the trunk.
Hey, we're gonna give him a ride, all right? Hey,
Okay,
let him out.
just a heads up. He has been known to steal underwear. So just good luck.
Right, you know, good thing is not related.
Oh.
Joe, never. Hey.
Yep.
Wait, you say good thing he's not related to?
Yeah. Listen, I think they'll be fine. Look at them go. They're pretending to be one big happy family, and they're not even related. Good morning.
Morning.
Are you confused? As
Not
to
any
what
more
happened?
than a normal day, honestly.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's just
Oh my God.
arrested this guy for street racing. He looked like Forehead. I gave him the street name of Fivehead. Called Forehead. One of them didn't know their mom. The other one didn't know their dad. They look very alike. They both got a widow's peak. I'm thinking, you know, they're clearly related. The
Were
DNA
they?
test determined that they were not.
And devastation.
Yeah. Could have been worse, though. If they were related, does that make it worse? I don't.
I would say both good and bad.
There's an upside and a downside to everything.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, at least we figured it out. We did the DNA test, and he didn't go to prison. That's, you know,
Huge.
he got billed. He got billed
Huge.
because no budget dabs here. But I needed to be able to justify releasing him on time served based upon guilty plea plus time in custody. I'm not trying to get dapped. Nakota, I'm gonna rant for 20 seconds, no more, no less. And I've made a senior report,
Okay.
and it describes my frustration with recent PD announcements and how there's a negative sentiment to some of them. Additionally, it's still fucking stupid that command has to approve arrest warrants. Okay, that's my rant. I hope that was 20 seconds or less.
It was less.
Just before Nakota says anything, did you hear what happened 2 days ago? Was it 2 days ago? Never. Yeah, it was 2 days ago. Did you hear what
Yeah, I
happened?
told Rhodes. He
you
got
told-
the
okay,
TLDR
right.
yesterday about it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I thought I missed.
He went
missed that
42
Talk,
part.
thank you
right
for the
after
raid.
he heard it.
Fuck,
Thank you for
I
the
missed
raid.
that part, okay.
But I did make. Look at my senior report. It's tagged.
I can't.
Why not?
We're both.
We're just deputies.
Oh, fuck. Well, I titled it Road Suggestion Box. This report serves as Rhodes' suggestion box in case he's unable to speak with command/high command. All caps. Please stop making announcements with such heavy negative sentiments. Next, please stop requiring that officers get command approval for arrest warrants. And then like a sub thing to that. Why are we micromanaging officers and putting more burden on command? Concerning. Another sub point. This is leading to more unnecessary announcements with a negative sentiment, which is true because the other announcement was it's annoying for command to get a long list of warrants.
I'm very confused. Okay, I'm gonna have my rant. I'm very confused of what command actually is meant to do then, because they're upset when they have to take control, and then they're upset when they don't have to take control. I don't I don't really know what's going on.
You know what this is? Concerning.
Yeah. What else is concerning? I go to this is what happened. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. So I was, funnily enough, that same Sultan that Forehead was just driving. They do a jewelry store, right? I get on scene. I tell them you need 2 interceptors for this. I'm telling 2 command members, high rank command members, that this is what's needed. They don't listen to me. They say, "Oh, we'll just wait. If we'll chase it and see if we need it." I'm telling them that they do because it's fucking Forehead in that car, because I know it's engine swapped. They don't listen to me. We lose them pretty quickly. And then they find it again maybe a minute later, tailing a bank truck. So I just hear that and it's like, oh, well, they're going to hit the bank truck.
Reasonable.
Yeah, so you would pursue both vehicles, right? They just try and pursue the car that they can't keep up with because I'm not there, because I'm on the other side of the city while looking for it. They chase it for half a minute and then it's gone. They lose the bank truck as well. The bank truck goes off at the pier, right? And we have like 4 units. Sorry, 1 second.
Oh, pier bank truck? That's giving me shootouts at the end of the pier. Oh.
I don't think there's actually been a shootout over at the end of a pier for a bank truck. It's usually
Good.
All right.
way
Well, yeah,
later.
okay. So like they're at the end of the pier. We have like 2 ground units, and a third kind of shadowing didn't really call out that they were going, and then Air 1 goes over. Air 1 calls out, they got guns, they're pointing it at the bank truck, like they're just running around. There's like 6 of them. Nobody makes the call. Like, I'm not gonna make the call. It's not my scene. I'm just a deputy, and there's high-ranking command members on the radio. One of the command members, when calling out for when like 77s are being called, says, "I started a traffic stop before this. I'm not coming." That's concerning. The other command member that's on the scene doesn't pipe up at all when it's being said we have 2 units. They're pointing guns. Maybe we shouldn't do this. Like, I give a suggestion over the radio. It's like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't do this. But I'm not, I'm not gonna make the call because it's not my place. Still crickets from the command member, and then Opal in Air 1 calls it and says, "All right, we're not doing this," and we leave.
Who is primary?
I don't know.
Oh.
I think it was
So there was enough.
I don't know his name, but there was a command member in the car with him.
So there was enough
Maxwell.
competent cooks in the kitchen,
But
but nobody knew who the cook was.
Well, yeah. I mean, but like in a position like that where I think it was a cadet was the first one who called out they were going, but the cadet had Maxwell in the car, who's a lieutenant, who, in my opinion, as a command member, if they determine something is too dangerous and there isn't a call being made because there isn't a scene need yet, why not just take control of it as a command member instead of just sitting on your hands and staying quiet?
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean,
all of majority of command, and that was what he said, do that.
I had to
And
do
it's
the same
extremely
thing not long
frustrating.
ago. Dakota, weren't you on duty? There was a situation up north. It was me. Wait, McQuillan, weren't you? Were you there? I don't know. Someone was.
Yeah,
No, I was with
scene?
Ventura. It was the day that fucking Peters was trying to send Ventura off duty. And then
Which time?
Okay.
Which time?
Well, the time where there was 78s and we responded and the Super Scout was fucking rolling deep, and then he was like, "Introduce the 77s, get out of the city!" And then
yeah, I heard about that.
seconds later, we got shot by Class 2s. We're fucking up north as like 2 or 3 units pursuing like 1 or 2 cars, and I just got on the radio and I was like, "So like, I know I'm only a senior deputy, but we're kind of split." And there's a lot going on, so can we consolidate? And then Brian Knight got on radio and was like, "Who's primary?" I was like, "Not me." He's like, "Yeah, great. I asked who's primary." I mean,
I'm
valid
gonna
for
say
that,
it.
to be fair. But I mean,
Bring back
nobody
a
was
restructure.
nobody was
Dude,
speaking the
don't
fuck
say
up.
that. Don't say that. Don't
No,
say that.
I
Don't say
bring
that.
back a restructure. It's needed.
Whatever that means, our department gets dismantled, right?
Yeah, but well, I mean, if I could target a restructure, I know where I'd target it, but because holy fuck, down there is completely incompetent.
Well, they were
I'll say
supposed
it
to
to
do
their
full
face.
retraining for their full department. I don't know if that actually ever happened, but they made an
but-
announcement
retraining.
about it.
Who's training them? The incompetent ones? Because that's at the top.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I'm just
Who's
a deputy.
retraining them?
I'm just a deputy, man.
Motherfucker, I use that excuse. I didn't want a promotion, so I can always default to that.
Yeah, but see, he got to lieutenant and then demoted. Now he never has to take a position again. That's what you need to do, Rhodes. Like in a
No,
2-week period-
no,
listen,
no.
listen, no. Hear me out. Hear me out. 2 weeks. You go all the way up to lieutenant, then you get demoted back to deputy. You never have to do it again.
You want to know the craziest fucking thing? When I was explaining this whole warrant bullshit to Opal, you want to know what's fucking wild? You know what Opal told me? That her first like thing that she ever saw of me was a warrant where I charged someone with 20 or 30 counts of disobeying. Okay, that's the only warrant I've written in 13 fucking months.
Huge.
Why? What? Opal also +1 my senior report. I'm just throwing that out there. I think that was nice.
If I could
Anyways.
see it, I would say congrats, but you know I can't.
Oh, don't sit there and be like, oh no, I can't see senior report. Bitch, we know you fucking enjoy not seeing senior reports. I don't want to
Hey,
fucking
it
see
is.
senior
whoa,
reports.
Whoa, bitch!
Yes, you're listen, you're not above me in rank anymore. This is the totem pole. I get to treat you like shit.
Did I treat you like shit?
No, you didn't. You
This is
didn't.
only, it's a little crash out though. This doesn't count.
This is not a crash. This is like
Oh, we're getting there.
no. It's fine.
Rhodes, I suffered with PD liaison then command for like 9 months, so I'm on
That's
spring
true. Honestly,
break.
the PD liaison must have actually was PD liaison worse.
Yes, because I had command and high command members come to me and say people aren't happy with the job you're doing, and I said, okay, what people, so I can go talk to them, and then they didn't have any names, and then I said, what are they not happy about, and they didn't have anything, so and I just got out of the car and walked away.
Well,
It was a great time.
It's just getting more and more concerning every day.
I'm not concerned at all.
isn't it so much easier being at the bottom than it is the top?
It's great. I've
Absolutely.
always been down here.
Do you understand why I've wanted to do this and not that?
Yeah, I do. Fully.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I've never been higher than corporal, and that was like 6 years ago.
do you want to be higher?
No.
Good.
I'll
I
suggest
say
things,
that
but
I say that in the most genuine way. I think people like myself who have experienced it in the past know what it entails, knows that you know, I'm not in the right mindset to do that. Need to stay away from it and enjoy the moments you have when you are not, you know, pretty much responsible for looking over every fucking complaint that's ever existed.
Yeah, you already did that.
Yep. I did my time many years ago.
How long were you under sheriff for?
Too long. Years.
Years?
It was
yeah,
pretty
he was on
much
the show
years.
for a very
yeah.
long time.
God, I'm sad I wasn't around in PD at that time.
You were under sheriff up to the restructure, right?
Yeah.
And that was, yeah.
Yep. Well, okay, to be clear, it was BCSO, then restructure, then BCSO, then restructure, then PBSO, then restructure question mark? No, willingness to go CPD.
CPD was in there at some point.
And CPD was like the worst iteration. It was the most like every iteration of BCSO, PBSO prior to was like very like, I don't want to say family oriented, but like it really was the family. And CPD, just because of the connotation associated with it, was
Very forced corporate kind of stuff, wasn't it?
yes, in the sense that people felt far more like a number than an actual person. And that really bothered me. But it was like, I mean, at that point, what do you do?
Wasn't there like 400 cops or like 500 people who were
I don't know.
hired?
I don't know about that. That's
No, he's right. There was a very large amount.
Not in just
weren't
CPD.
active.
I mean total, like people.
I don't know if
that was before the restructure. No, it was.
Okay.
I counted. It was very high. It was like 400 something.
damn. Must have been a long
I remember the
time ago.
conversation. They wanted to cut it in
But
half.
you know what? You want to know what the great thing was? Brett and I delegated. Couldn't tell you what was going on in fucking P&T. It was handled. Is all the fuck I knew and all I needed to know. Because I'm not going to micromanage people and have to fucking put my signature on an arrest warrant.
Imagine if we lived in a world where the PD wasn't being micromanaged.
Did command not have to approve that back in the day? I thought they did.
No, arrest warrants, not search warrants. Search warrants, I fully agree with. Search warrants are far more nuanced, and the
Yeah, but
consequence of
arrest warrants,
fucking
did they
that
not?
up is far different than an arrest warrant. As backwards as that may sound, okay? However, an arrest warrant, if you cannot type down what you can articulate to a judge verbally,
Yeah.
I hate to break it to
Yeah.
you, but this is not the job for you. It
Wait, so
ain't
do you
it.
think do you think anybody should sign it then, or just it should
No,
just go out?
whichever officer is articulating the PC should be able to sign off. It's literally their statement of PC. They sign off on it. It gets
I think that'd be
executed.
good.
They
Right
can
now-
also bench trial the validity of the PC and the warrant after the fact.
That's what I mean,
So
yeah.
it's like it's not like there are mechanisms in place to check them.
We actually got
Right
a lot more
now-
bench trials.
What we're doing
good.
is we're on a fishing boat where people who are writing warrants or, someone with no fishing experience, they got a fishing pole in their hand, except the moment a fish bites, command is grabbing onto their fishing pole and doing it for them. For why? And then putting announcements out saying if there's command available, speak to them in person. It's annoying to have to open up a large list of arrest warrants to approve.
Yep,
It's silly.
I agree. I concur.
I don't know.
I'm sure
I need
they'll
to
take
speak
your
to someone.
feedback
I need
on
to speak
board.
to someone. Who is on duty right now? Jimbo!
Bro, no, I wouldn't.
Jimbo! Let me take a look at the roster. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna go up the chain of command.
Huge. That's
Jimbo is in fact next. Okay, I call him.
Maxwell's after that, I think. So,
Keep it in
Oh,
our
good luck.
department.
well, it's a unified problem. Why would we keep it in our department?
Let's ununify that problem. Let's fix it on our side.
Yeah, let's keep our own side of the street clean so
these-
that way we can
these-
point.
Aren't these fucking things not coming from? Okay.
But I'm just saying, what a slap in the face it would be if BCSO officers could approve their own arrest warrants and LSPD could not.
That would be funny. That would actually be very funny.
Tell you what, I say they swap real quick in the event that happens. And listen, am I sitting here saying everyone's gonna write flawless arrest warrants? No.
No.
But sometimes you gotta let someone fucking burn themselves.
Yeah,
all right,
let
to
them get burned
realize.
by a judge, it's not your problem.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, where is this announcement about the warrants? Is
Yeah,
it down
it's
further? I see it. Arrest warrants. Who put this out?
read it. Read it. This is one of the negative sentiment or things I'm talking about. If you're placing an arrest warrant, please stop putting them out there and leaving them. Becoming incredibly annoying for command to get on duty to huge list of warrants pending approval. There's usually a member of command around in each shift. Speak to them. Use your voice. Have a conversation. We do our best to leave feedback in the warrant itself, but it's just so much easier to get them sorted at the time they go out.
That makes no sense. As a command member, okay, if you're doing this fucking stupid system, it is your job to read the PC and the warrant and then sign it. If it's not there, then you don't sign it. You reach out to the person. Why do they have to reach out to you? I hate this. No, you're
No.
now. I'm just getting it.
I'm sorry.
I'm being a passenger for 45 minutes. This is,
Y'all, I need Jimbo's number. Who got it?
Wait, you don't have Jimbo's number?
Apparently not. It's probably on his profile, but
420-394-6858.
thank you.
All right.
this is why I don't want to go.
Go
any
out
higher
there.
than
Go. Leave
fucking
before we
deputy
keep
because I'll be
talking.
to Brick Wall.
Hello.
Hey, Jimbo, you senior deputy Rhodes, BCSO. How you doing?
Hey, this is Sergeant Mentor, Director of HR, FTO Tools, our father, Dr. Jimbo Marie Christine Sutton, MD.
Okay. Well, I have a complaint.
Is it an HR complaint or is it like a PD complaint?
No, it's a PD complaint. I've written a senior report about it.
Okay.
It's tagged
open it?
concerning.
Okay.
Were you laughing?
Just the fact that you, it was tech complaint. Sorry.
Okay, here's my complaint. I think it's fucking stupid that we require command approval for arrest warrants when those same officers can arrest people every day, go to bench trials every day, and still have to articulate PC, but cannot do so in an arrest warrant. That's silly. And then we have announcements being put out. This was, okay, to be fair, this was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But like, it pretty much said, if command's around, speak to them, use your words.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to come on duty to a large list. There shouldn't be a large list. But if somebody's a full officer, I think there should be an exception for cadets, recruits, PPOs, whatever, right? But if someone's a full officer, how can we not trust that they're going to establish PC in a warrant?
You would think, right?
I would think, but here's the thing. If we're going to handhold them the entire time, they're going to keep putting out shitty warrants looking for exactly what command is seeking and do exactly that. And command is always going to have this burden on their shoulder.
Yeah, but I think that's how they want it, though.
Why? No, that's not how they want it. Because look at the announcement.
What do you mean?
17119.
No, you're talking about the yeah.
I'm talking about
That's
arrest
how
warrants,
they-
not search warrants. To be very clear.
No,
arrest
I know.
warrants.
I think that's how they want it, though. They want like command to make sure that the warrants are good, so that when you go to a bench trial, you don't get fucking shit on.
Well, can't the warrant be appealed to a judge for the validity of the PC?
Yep.
Okay,
Good.
then is that not the mechanism in place to deal with that?
But then you're conflicting a judge.
Not really. They can deal with whether or not that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think conflict's an issue there.
I don't know, man. I just work here.
Me too. And Jimbo, guess what? I've written one arrest warrant in 13 months.
Yeah, I've written like 2.
Yeah. And mine was for like 20 or 30 something counts of disobeying a peace officer. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who's robbing what right now?
I don't know, but how do I make sure this goes up the chain? Because I am.
Are you coming to the meeting?
I'll make
in
time for the
41
fucking
minutes.
meeting. I'll make time for the meeting.
Radish will be there.
Perfect.
Then you can crash out of the meeting.
I think I don't remember if I had this conversation with them. You know what? I'll have a meeting crashed out. It's fine.
All right, sounds good.
Bye.
I love you.
Married. Pulls out SOPs. Warrant. Ugh. Mm-mm-mm. Do, 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 do. Wait, what did that say? Wait, hold wait. I just realized there's something in our SOPs that I don't know is accurate. I don't know that there's any case law that requires this. Our SOPs state LEOs can ask for detained individuals to provide identification, run background checks, and determine if they have any warrants. Which is interesting because it's previously been ruled, I think in like I don't know if it's a bench trial, traffic court, the passenger did not have to identify themselves, even though technically everyone in the vehicle is detained, and therefore if everyone's detained, you can. Holy fuck. Chat, we're gonna start asking passengers for ID. Oh. And I'm gonna say that's what my SOP say.
Thing.
2521 route.
Wait, we said there were two up? Oh, Jenna was
It's not Jack, it's
yeah, Boss is down.
it was Jack as well. There's 3 cops now. So one of
One
them's a
Alpha.
Bravo. Well, 2 of them are Bravos, one of them's an Alpha.
You could work for EMS.
Yeah.
Espinosa, I'll document the car.
Copy. Yeah, Maxwell, I promise I wasn't telling him the location.
No! I was like, please don't tell them where they are.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Hmm.
Is the scene code for EMS?
EMS from PD, what's your location? Pointed through that.
That could have been disastrous.
No
Maxwell-
tow available.
Maxwell, did the vehicle have anything inside?
Negative. It's empty.
Hey,
Hey.
you fuck with the fit?
Huh?
You fuck with the fit?
What you're wearing now?
Yep.
Did you want to bring the car back to the PD, Espinosa, so I can just flag it here?
I just
No,
don't
you
like
can
that
just flag it.
vest.
I think it's just a stolen vehicle.
I don't like your face.
Okay, but it's here to stay.
Well, I'm just kidding. I don't like your face. But the jacket is a little warm for now. I mean.
No, it's not. It was snowing a week ago.
Yeah, but it's warm now.
Hmm. No, I think I've determined I'm surrounded by some
Hey.
people. Hello. Some cold-hearted people, and it's just a little chilly.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
That's TV.
I'm smiling my way through pain.
Oh, what's up?
Out.
He's crashing out.
Are you crashing out?
Because I think procedurally there are some very flawed things. I'm like officers needing command approval for an arrest warrant. The same people
Have you
who
seen
can.
some of the warrants that they put out?
And you know what? They're gonna have to. We're gonna let them have to touch the fucking the hot stove
They
and let
don't
them
touch
learn
the
from
hot
their
stove.
mistake. That's the
Yeah.
issue.
They don't. That's the
There's
issue. They don't. But they won't. Like, if you take them to court, they literally just throw it. Like, literal. It's a no-win situation.
that's
It's a
the issue.
no-win.
Listen, once they get burnt in court because they done fucked up an arrest warrant,
No, they won't.
yes,
don't
they
learn.
will.
I know
They
where you're going
don't.
with this. They will not
don't.
learn.
They don't learn. I promise you, they don't.
Well,
We've lost so many court cases in the last 6 months, and not a single one of those people like give a shit. They just, in fact, the reply is, "I'm just not taking things to court anymore."
Or they're gonna say the judge was against me. This is
Yes.
stupid. Court was dumb. I'm
okay.
not gonna write any.
To be
arrest
clear,
warrants
though,
anymore.
we're talking about two very different things. I understand they both can result in an appeal, okay? But at the end of the day, should not have to wait. As a full officer, for that to get approved. These are the same people who would get sent into a bench trial, no questions asked. They have no choice
5-2 is on scene.
and would have to articulate it.
Told you here, come on.
If they can
Can I
write
tell you
that
something?
down,
Rhodes,
what?
I've had some people that have been officers for a long, long time call me and go, "Hey, can I get this approved?" And I had to tell them to go back and fix their warrants.
Listen, I don't think everyone's perfect, but this issue was never going to get solved.
Well, how do you solve it?
Let them make the fucking mistake.
I don't think that's the right way to do it.
Judges can determine the validity of the PC.
Then it's not just after that. It's the idea that after that, the judges then come to us and they're like, "Why would you let a warrant like that even go through?" And then we have to sit there and explain to them, "Well, we didn't check it," and they're like, "Why aren't you checking these?"
Because you expected somebody being able to articulate PC.
Then they'd be like, "Well, why can't they do their job?" And they still get mad at us. It's kind of it literally doesn't fix the issue. Letting them burn and crash and burn doesn't fix it because it isn't them who then gets it in the neck. It's us.
Yeah,
Sergeant
people
Moss,
crashing and
these two
burning.
causing you problems?
Look at who are
Back
you
off
talking to?
my
What the-
sergeant.
Did you just call me Sergeant Moss?
No, it's Sergeant Stevie.
Fuck off out
No,
of
you
here.
called her
Fuck
Moss.
off out of here.
Oh.
I'll
You
leave.
couldn't even get a name right, Carmine. Carmine, come over here. Carmine. Carmine. Question.
Hey, I was about to call you Cassidy Rose. I was gonna go 2 for 2 right there.
Oh, it's all right. Come over here. It'll be quick. I have a quick question for you.
What is it?
What's your stance on arrest warrants requiring command approval?
I'm okay with it.
Okay, why'd you say it like that?
I believe and trust in my command's judgment to tell me if my PC started or not.
You can say freely. None of us give a shit right now.
No, this is my actual opinion. Can you tell Peters and Moss I said that?
Can you stop being a
please?
bitch and answer the question?
You are such a rank chaser.
That
Just give
is
us a
my
proper
opinion.
answer.
That is my opinion. That is how I feel. That
Dude,
is
you're
how
such
I'll
a
always
flip-flopper.
feel. Yeah, that's my answer.
Damn. Y'all shucks. Carmine thinks it's okay.
What
It's
a-
okay.
what a fucking
I'm
bitch-made boy.
I'm the outlandish one. Fuck.
You're not outlandish. I think if, like, believe me, I would love to not have to sign these things. But I also have to sit there and ask people where PC is and what they're actually pushing and why they're pushing it. It's like when I'm doing that, and then I don't want to like have to do that and then get a judge to tell me off as well.
I don't know. I think there's another aspect of this that I've brought up before, and that is, regardless of how PC is defined, everyone is going to have a different threshold, a personal threshold, if you will, based upon the fact that as a command member, you're putting your signature stating this is good enough, right? Which means if I see an area of improvement, let's say I'm command, I see an area of improvement, I'm like, you know, I'm not going to sign it unless that is corrected because this could have been done better, right? I understand that the threshold for some is not the same for others, okay? But I think that also creates a fairly heavy inconsistency in like just the requirement of PC. Like in an ideal world, yes, absolutely, everything should be there and described perfectly, okay? And I know firsthand because when I was command or high command, I was not putting my fucking name on a search warrant that I thought could have been better. Of course, I'm going to sit there and tell the person, listen, I want this, this, and this before you see my signature on there. Because if I'm signing a warrant, I'm saying it's damn fucking good. But like,
yeah, but
those
have pride.
personal, yeah, but that's the thing. Those personal thresholds are above PC, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Can we have
But
one more unit at CMC?
if your arrest warrant's going to get approved or not approved, depending on who's looking at it, that's probably problematic.
I think it's simpler than that because it's literally a case of they name they name the charge and then they put a sentence for why they got that charge. I.e., they robbed a bank with no mask, so they're getting that charge. It's that simple. It's not like the way they've laid it out is literally you name the charge and then like a sentence why. It's either yes or no on that.
Are any of you doubled up?
No.
So I really want. I read your. Oh yeah, we better go to that.
What?
Did he fall out of the ambo?
He's still to the south. Jack. Jack.
I'm not sure what happened with him.
GPS.
Am I blind? Is he in the bushes?
Yeah, he might be in the bushes.
Dude.
Oh my god!
I can't believe this.
Jack, what happened?
Nobody help me! Are you kidding me?
Thank you.
Somebody put him in the bushes?
You guys kidding me?
He was in the bushes.
He got hit in the bush and no one gave him medical.
Oh.
What?
Opal.
What do you mean, Opal? I was doing
I
evidence
blame you.
and
Oops.
around a night.
Yes.
And I did
Really quickly, when you get a sec, I can explain to you why. I'm guessing the announcement about the weapons registry is what. Because I looked at what you wrote about the negative statement.
Yeah, I have not been a big fan of that. It's happened several times now.
So this one is kind of a bait. You have, and the thing is, this is where the issue comes in. It's certain shifts,
Guys, Jack
but it's happening across the board for a lot of it. For us, we've had 3 major shootouts where where people just haven't registered their weapon at all. So we end up with like spending hours and hours for casings that we shouldn't have to when we're trying to put out warrants. So it kind of, and I think it happened like 3 times this week because we've had really big scenes. Also,
So to be clear though, regarding that, I don't think the announcement in and of itself is bad. There's like slight digs in the announcement that I think are entirely unnecessary. Like
that's fair. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Which is why I say a negative sentiment. I don't mean like anything that tells us that we can do our job better is inherently bad.
I think this week I feel like if you're a week later on, you would see how, and I'll say it plainly, how stressed out most of the command people are, because we're losing things left, right, and center with these bigger gangs because people won't do the simple thing of writing a sentence that they got shot and things like that. They're getting, and I think command this week has been really frustrated with that because they've had major situations happen, and there's literally nothing they can do, and it's unfortunately fallen on command to do all these warrants and things, and the PD are doing the basic stuff, and it sucks, man. I know because I spent 4 hours doing a fucking investigation over something that should have taken 2 minutes.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's frustrating. Is that the casing situation?
Yeah, the chicken factory.
I'm not at all surprised.
We had 2 officers. Neither of them registered. One of them had a class 2 that they didn't register at all. And the other one was that somebody had put the wrong evidence from a different scene into that one because they just emptied their evidence bag.
Oh,
so when we used VR, when we used VR, it took us to Sandy to a shootout there. Yet there was no shootout in Sandy. And then we had to sit there and go through each piece of evidence to take out the ones that were corrupted. It's so fucking annoying, man. I was ready to scream.
Yeah, that unfortunately those things are things that don't necessarily happen often, and unfortunately when they do happen, it's always as part of a larger scale situation and fucks everything up.
Yeah, and I think it's just a case of so I don't know if you've heard about this, but in shift 1 into shift 2, nobody will collect evidence either. Literally nobody will volunteer to collect evidence. Everyone will just leave a scene. That's been another thing as well. So I don't think that these announcements aren't at everybody. I think I wish there were more like focus on the shifts that, because I'm more for, if that shift has an issue, you need to speak directly to the people not doing it rather than big announcements. Because I don't like big announcements like this because I don't think they're useful.
Announcements happen so fucking frequently that they're pretty much just noise now. Like,
yeah,
I don't like that, and it's terrible. But like, for example, like regarding the weapon registry thing,
yeah,
like the specific highlighting law enforcement officers or hindering the ability of others, like while I understand that is the case, if the purpose is to, and the whole like this stops now, if the purpose is to ensure that people are doing it properly, just make the weapon registry's announcement. Like there was no need to put where is it, like the paperwork portion at the very bottom. How that's stated is like entirely unnecessary. The whole stop coming around to do patrol work when you can't provide the assistance needed for PC for charges. There's no point in you existing as an LEO at that point. I think that's I believe the intent is good. But there's a distinct level of tact that is not in this announcement, and it is
I think that's because I'm gonna be honest, Rhodes. I think it's because they've been nice with them, and now they're at the end of their, and now it's like this is enough now.
I did have a scuff siren.
I think
had to
it is
respawn my
because
car.
people have been tactful and they have been talking to them nicely, and it's
I don't know if it's vehicle ejection. Then I mean those people need to be personally punished.
Exactly. That's why I'm on the page of they need to be personally spoken to.
Because like I said, I see this and I go, there are times, I'd say a couple times a week, where I will get on duty for the sole purpose of ensuring that my reports are filled out for a situation that occurred earlier in the day, and I have zero intent on leaving the police department. That is the sole purpose. I'm doing paperwork, and it's not because I'm prioritizing paperwork over a 78. It's because it's all I know I can dedicate my time to. I don't have time to respond to a 78's call. Like, I don't have time to see that situation through, because if that situation is going to extend far longer than I anticipate being around, I'm sorry, but this is pretty much saying don't come around at all. There's no point in you existing as a law enforcement officer. And I genuinely believe, because I've seen this many times.
I think it's the opposite. It's saying that if you're only going to go out and patrol and respond, but you're not going to do the rest of the work, then you're not helping us. Because part of the paper, like you said, you takes time to especially do it. You're one of the few that does. Other people don't, and they will go out of their way to skip as much paperwork as they can, and it is hindering.
Yeah.
The thing is that on these big situations, it's so many people, like to the point where if you look at some of the biggest situations now, we have to list off every officer there and put a tick next to their name if they've written a statement. That's the only way we can keep track. I'm sure people still slip through the cracks. Like, you are one of the really good officers who are like, oh, I know I need to get my paperwork done. But the other side is the officer who only gets on duty to go to calls. And even when they do have paperwork, they just won't do it. Like, you can go through reports and instances, you'll find some of the officers just leave theirs entirely blank all the time.
I don't know what, like, I don't know what the solution is, because like I get what you're saying, but I do still think that like a lot of the like the negative portion is like entirely on it. Like, this announcement could have been made without the additional like
I agree, yeah. I mean,
bits that were unnecessary.
I'm playing devil's advocate with you, but I am going to be honest with you. I came on duty the other day, went to a meeting where I got shouted at by in 3 different announcements. And I went out afterwards and I told command, I was like, if I, as an officer just got on duty, I was like, that entire meeting was just miserable for me. And I just want to go 42 now. I was like, the fact that a lot of the officers are just getting on duty and you immediately bombard them with negativity, I was like, is not helpful, rather than just speaking to those that need to be spoken to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So I am on your side with that. I do disagree with the way that the attitude is when it comes to presenting these issues. I do disagree with it, and I have brought it up because I'm like, I don't want to go on duty and be shouted at every day.
Thank you, Lucy. You're not wrong. You're,
Yeah.
I
Have a
don't
look at
either.
this.
I don't either.
No, I don't think anyone does. And I understand. I think it's because I've seen both sides of it this week, where I've seen the side of nobody has done their work and now I'm suffering for it, and being on the receiving end of it, I was pissed. But I also understand the fact that if you're not an officer and you're out doing your fucking work, it's so exhausting to constantly hear you. It's like nagging you constantly. Yeah, I get both sides.
You're not wrong. And then in shift 3 specifically, because we typically have very few numbers, it's like regarding arrest warrants. Number one, like, don't get me wrong, there is a decent amount of activity amongst what's it called? Command and high command in shift 3. I mean, Lucas hasn't been around as much recently, but I'm sure that'll, you know, holiday season and whatnot, it is what it is. Sky has been around fairly frequently most days. But it's like, if no one is around, or even if someone is around, still having to get command approval during a time like that is very difficult. Because we're typically 3, 4, 5, 6 units most at times. And it's like pulling command off to look at a fucking warrant is wild, because that's a third of our entire force, the person writing the warrant and then command who has to look it over for something that I don't know. I'm very adamant that if you're a law enforcement officer, you can establish PC and explain it. And if you can't, then I think that needs to be dealt with on like a per person basis, and not everyone is instead going to have to jump through hoops in order to get the shit done.
I'm happy to bring all this up and talk to the other command members about it, and I appreciate you making it known.
Because I also feel like, obviously, you know, as command, I'm going to assume, especially given the prior announcements, that yeah, it is a fucking burden to sit there and go through all of the warrants to determine whether or not there's enough PC. And there might be one on the line and you're like, I'm not putting my signature on that because it's a bit iffy, blah, blah, blah. But like, imagine coming on duty and not ever having to look at warrants unless an issue is brought up. You know, it's like the burden doesn't have to be on command, who already has enough burden in so many other areas of the police department. And do I think this might, you know, come back and bite the PD in the ass? Yeah, it's totally a possibility. But if that is something that's never bound to change, it's just going to be a bottleneck and an area that the command are just going to dread, which is already the case given that announcement.
Yeah, no, I see your point. Yep, I mean, yeah, I was shocked when they promoted me and I realized I had to read warrants. Like, wait, what? I have to approve these? Or like, yes. I was like, oh, okay.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I completely get your point. No, I agree. I'm sure you'll speak to your command in PC, so I'll speak to my LSPD and I'll see what they make of it.
I did. I spoke with Jimbo, and I'm gonna be attending the meeting, which I don't typically do, but I'm gonna attend the meeting and have a conversation, because I do think it's an area that can improve. And again, I say this as somebody who ultimately, like, it isn't affected in the sense of I don't come on duty and have to look at, you know, multiple arrest warrants to determine PC, but I also see how dreadful that can fucking be, having been in, you know, positions like that in the past. And it's like, I promise you, there are certainly people who are in command who are just not going to come around if they know that there are fucking 10 pending arrest warrants and they have to go through every one of them before they can do a traffic stop.
I'll tell you a secret. When there's too many of them, I just ignore them.
You're smart.
Until I have someone else with me to go through them with me.
You're smart.
And sitting there doing them alone.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I know we're going in circles here, but it's just like, it's just the fact that if the person were in custody and were to be brought into a bench trial, like, the same information you're providing to the judge is the same information that would have to go in that arrest warrant. If you can do those two things, you're good. But I do think a lot of people fear court stuff, and
they really
don't realize that, like, they have this mentality of like, this person's in custody, therefore the judge is going to assume. that they did it, but it's like, no, blank canvas. They know nothing. They know nothing. They don't even know your name. How did you identify this person? Was it based on prior experiences with them? Is it based upon how they look? Do the person look the same? Do they have the same tattoos? Were they driving a vehicle registered to the person you suspected? You know, like, you just have to tie everything all together. That's all you got to do.
Devil's advocate, isn't that exactly what we're making them do on the warrant? And so that means they already have it in their head if they do go to bench trial?
Yes, but so my thing isn't necessarily the warrant portion, it's the command approval portion is my biggest area of concern. Because if they're always going to get stopped and told, hey, listen, there's not enough here, number one, that could boil down to just personal preference from command regarding, like, it could be better, even if there still is PC, which is going to delay warrants even further. Because, again, I promise you now, if I was command, you're not getting my signature on the bare minimum. But that also leads to inconsistencies in how people are going to believe that they should be done. Like, obviously, we want, in an ideal world, everyone to be writing these flawless, you know, arrest warrants. But they don't necessarily have to be, you know, the craziest things in the world. Search warrants, on the other hand, I've said many times, different ballgame. Those should absolutely be command approval. Because those consequences can be severe. Arrest warrants, where people get arrested daily, multiple times a day, not the biggest deal in the world, especially when 9 times out of 10, it was, in fact, the person being accused.
Usually, yeah. I don't know. I'm half and half because part of me, I do think that so I'll put it this way: as somebody, as you said, it could be unique to me. I'm only looking for the bare minimum for a warrant, search warrant for me to say. I just want to see that there is, you know, the bare minimum there. You've identified them, and that you can see who they are, and that this is how you did it, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of command are in the same place as that we're not looking for it to be flawless. We're just looking for it to make sense, so that if they do get called to court, they do have an idea of what they're doing. So I see your point, but I also think that it is, even on your point, it's a good learning tool as well, because at some point, you know, they're gonna be able to breeze through court, but right now they're not. They struggle.
This makes me question if this is something that, like, boils down to, like, academy and like teaching these things very early on. Like, you need, again, as I said before, you're blank canvas and you're painting that image. You need to establish how you identified that person, and pretty much tell that story to, number one, establish it was that person, what the actual crime was, justifying that crime, right? Just fleeing from police doesn't mean it's reckless. Unless you start going over into opposing lanes, sidewalks, stuff like that, the high rates of speed in the city. So maybe the issue is just like a training thing, and it just not.
Yeah, I think because you spend so long training, but you spend so long training on the mechanics of being an officer and the needs must, that you miss that kind of the part where you learn,
level of detail.
Yeah, that level of detail where you miss it, and usually it comes out in your report writing. But again, if you're unlucky enough to always get people who plead guilty, your report's going to be lackluster as well.
Not wrong. You know what? I'm gonna fucking harp on fucking search warrants, and I'm gonna proudly stand up there and go, in 13 months I've written 1 arrest warrant, and I'm gonna fucking show you how to write one, and it's gonna be damn good.
Yeah, do it. Honestly, this is why, if like I don't train at all anymore, but when I do, I make them write out, even when they plead guilty, their entire report.
Oh yeah,
because I'm like, that's the only way you'll understand it.
Not only that, but evaluating as an FTO, like, I haven't done FTO stuff in quite a while, but it's hard to evaluate when I tell people this, you know, if you're giving everybody a warning in a traffic stop because they've been compliant, it's hard for me to evaluate how you are going to process a standard traffic stop, you know, run of the mill, someone gets a citation from start to finish. Like, you can do it, but understand that I can't evaluate how you are doing this from start to finish and whether or not you're missing any steps because, you know, you're being lenient. And again, that's okay, but I need to see something. So yes, I would absolutely do the exact same thing with guilty pleas, because I need to see how you are establishing everything. And there's a lot of paperwork on the MDT. And I think maybe this is the underlying issue. I don't know. I think a lot of times people realize that there's like a I swear, like a 1 or 2% chance that your shit gets FOIA'd or ever looked at again after 48 hours, that people are just banking on it not being FOIA'd
Pretty
or
much,
requested
100%.
or looked at. And that's why it happens, because they're looking at the time they're spending and the value added in the information they're putting in that'll never get looked at again, is what I would assume.
So I'll put it as plain as can. Some officers just don't care. They're like, I don't need to. I don't. I'm just gonna put a sentence in this massive shootout. And even though I was the one that shot the person, some of them just don't care. There's nothing you can do when they have that attitude. It's gonna be like, okay, fair enough.
Well,
Yeah. Thank you for talking with me.
no, thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
listening to my rant.
No, it's good to hear because I think we're aligned on a lot of things. We have a couple of different things, but yeah. No, I agree with a lot of the things you said, and I'll bring it up to my command.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Have you tried camera? Wait, what camera? What are we talking about? The PD camera? For oh no, I haven't done anything with evidence really today. I did realize that I have an overlapping keybind that causes a fucking inventory issue. I was trying to pull someone out. Where was it? I think I originally had my camera here. Is it? The fuck was it? Sick. My car's gonna be broken now, isn't it? I can't even get it to happen now. Fuck. Oh well. This will be broken. But no, I haven't done much with like actual evidence today. I don't know what was changed or adjusted. I'm curious. Made it suck ass or not suck ass? In what way? The camera was visible? Yes. Yes, I always used to radio. I always used to have to radio in to get the fucking camera out of the view. It's gone. Oh. Good. Good. Because I felt so bad because I always take a lot of photos of scenes and it would be like radio click, radio click, radio click. And I couldn't talk during it because if I did, it'd be fucking awkward. Nikes, what CPU do you have? Random question. Okay. We're fine. Of 900K. Have you been getting random, just FPS drops? Like, my FPS drops recent, like I say past 2-3 weeks, like my lows are getting low and it's never happened before and I don't know if it's fucking me. Do you ever get into pursuits in the south side? It's obviously, you know, worse there. But like, I can't remember the last time I saw my FPS dip into like the 20s or 30s, but that's just been happening recently. Hold on. I'm gonna do something real quick. Like, does it have anything to do with like leaving the area? Because when it happened with Oz, my shit was on. I got sent to the hospital, came back, and it was off for me, but on for Oz. Tested? What did I do when Wait. Hold on. Didn't the guy try to get into my car and it was locked? Oh.